Hi, Kim Rochelle here. I'm your captioner. I've been here for about 10 months at the college. I've helped many of you close caption some of your online and hybrid course videos. I'm here to talk to you about captioning. Why is captioning important? Well, that last little demonstration was kind of meant to show you what it might feel like if you were completely deaf and someone asked you to go watch a video and learn from it. Could you have learned anything from that video? I'm guessing not, because you couldn't hear and there was no other way for you to be able to be presented the materials. It was only through audio. Without having closed captions, someone who's completely deaf would never have a chance to learn anything from a video like that. So that's number one, why captions are important. Okay, you got it, right? Captions are important. If you're deaf, you need captions in order to get the material. However, how many deaf students are there on campus? I'm sure that's your next question. I've never seen a deaf student on campus. I've never been told I have a deaf student in one of my classes. Well, let me tell you, captions are important for more than just people who are deaf. Let me give you another quick demonstration. Okay, imagine you're a working mom or dad or a student who's holding down 3 jobs and is trying to commute between one job to the next, and that's the only time you have to study or to watch videos or to go through the online courses that you signed up for. The only place you can do that maybe is on the bus, or at a restaurant, or in a noisy environment. Maybe you've got children who are screaming in the background. Maybe you have siblings who will leave you alone. And you're trying to concentrate on what's in front of you on the screen, and all you can hear is the background noise. All right, so that was probably pretty difficult, right? So you might have had trouble distinguishing my voice from the background voices. Let's flip it now. Let's say you have to study in some place that's really quiet, like a library, or maybe you're a working parent with small children, and the only time you have to do your schoolwork is late at night after they've gone to bed. Now, your answer, of course, put on headphones. Same with the noisy environment, just put on headphones, right? Well, I don't know about you, but when I wear headphones, the outside world completely goes away. I can't hear anything outside of what I'm doing in front of me. Now, as a parent of a small child, I wouldn't be able to hear that child if they needed me in the middle of my lecture. If I'm in a public place and I'm wearing headphones, I feel very vulnerable because I can't hear footsteps coming towards me or people asking me questions. So it's not a perfect solution, but I have another solution. It's called closed captioning that can help when you are in a situation where the background environment is too loud or the background environment needs to be really quiet and you don't want to interrupt a sleeping baby or the people sitting next to you at the library. This is an important benefit of closed captioning that gets overlooked a lot. And Green River College is a high population of students who don't speak English as their native language. I don't know the last time you tried to learn a language, but it's much easier to understand a new language when you can see it written down. If it's just being spoken to you, it's a lot more difficult to understand. So if you have a student who is in your class, is learning English and at the same time trying to learn, let's say, chemistry, and you give them a video that has closed captioning, they can actually pause that video and look up words that are written on the screen for them. So if they didn't understand something that you said, they can stop the video and actually look up the words that they don't understand because they're written right in front of them. If you don't have the closed captioning and those words are just spoken and are not written down on the screen anywhere, it makes it much, much more difficult for someone who either is not a native English speaker or maybe has a learning difficulty. Maybe there's someone who has to see something in order to really understand it. Adding the closed captioning just allows for more channels into the brain to cement really good foundational learning from a video. Okay, now we know captions are important, and we know they're important for more than just the deaf and hard of hearing student. So, next step is actually captioning the videos, right? Good news for you, that's my job. That's why I'm here. So just tell me about your videos and I can help you get them captioned. I'm sure some of you are sitting there thinking, well, I've got these videos on Panopto, or I've got these videos on YouTube, and there's this little button that says auto captions or import auto captions, or YouTube just generates automatic captioning. So you feel, I'm already done, right? Well, not so fast. Let me show you a couple examples that might change your mind.
Directional terms. So for example, superior, inferior, front or anterior ventral, or posterior dorsal. Okay, so start going over these. What I tell my students is to link them together. Superior, inferior, these are opposites. These are opposites. So just circle those. It'll make more sense. Your brain likes to make connections either to other new ideas or new and old ideas. Helps you hang on to them. Medial, towards the midline of the body. Opposite is lateral. In between, intermediate. A little trickier, so proximal, distal. Proximal is closer to the attachment point, referring to a limb, arm, or a leg, or your head. Okay, again, it's closer to, whatever's closer to the attachment point, that's proximal. Whatever's further away from the attachment point, that's distal. So you're always comparing two areas. If you compare your chin to your nose, you would say your chin is more proximal to the neck than your nose.
Okay, I hope that was enlightening and maybe helps you understand why automatic captionings are not the best. If you need to go back a couple times and watch that segment again, I'll call out a couple things. One, auto captions just had wrong words, like jara. The other thing to look at is sentence structure, or the lack of it in the auto captions. There's no commas and periods or dashes, things to help you organize the material so that it makes logical sense. If you're learning material for the first time, it's much more difficult to understand if it's just a bunch of words thrown at you and there's no grammatical context to tell you that these two things go together and these two things do not. So just go back a couple times, rewatch that segment, really pay attention to the differences between the automatic captions and the professionally edited ones. So that brings me to my final point. It's a call to action for you. Please tell me where you have videos. I'm here to help you get them captioned. And there's a spot on the GatorNet that is the captioning request form. And if you click on that link, it helps you fill out a form. It comes straight to me. It tells me that you have videos that need to be captioned. If you don't feel like using the form, that's fine. You can just send me an email at krochelle@greenriver.edu and just let me know. I've got this class that I'm teaching and it has videos and I need help getting them captioned. That's all it takes. So I appreciate you watching this video. I appreciate you taking the time. And please help me in my quest to get all of these online and hybrid videos captioned for these students. So if you have any questions, I'm always available. Shoot me an email, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.